What would happen if robots helped at home every day? Robots could save time by doing chores, but families would still need to spend time together. Would you like a robot helper at home? What would happen if gravity disappeared for one day? Everything would float into the air. Daily activities would become very difficult and confusing. What do you think would happen next? What would happen if animals could talk like humans? Animals could share their thoughts and feelings. People might understand them better. What would you ask them first? Do you think the world would be better without money? People might share more with each other, but deciding who gets what could be difficult. Would you like to live in that world? Why do you think teamwork is important? Teamwork helps people share ideas and help each other. Together, tasks can feel easier and more fun. Do you like working alone or together? What would happen if humans never needed sleep? People would have more time to do things, but their bodies and minds might feel very tired. Would you want to skip sleep? What should we do if someone feels left out? We can invite them to join and listen to their feelings. Small actions can make a big difference. What would you do? What would happen if the internet stopped working for one day? People could talk more and play offline games. Life might feel different, but interesting. What would you do instead? Do you think making mistakes is a bad thing? Mistakes help people learn and improve. They are a part of growing. How do mistakes help you learn? What would happen if everyone could fly? Travel could be faster and more fun, but cities would need new rules to stay safe. Would you like to fly? Why do you think rules are important? Rules help keep people safe and fair. Without them, things could feel confusing. Which rule is most important to you? What would happen if food could never run out? People would not feel hungry anymore, but wasting food could become a problem. How should we treat food? Do you think helping others makes you happy? Helping others can make people feel proud and kind. It also builds friendships. Who would you like to help? What would happen if cars could drive themselves? Travel could be safer and easier, but people would still need to stay alert. Would you trust a car like this? Why do you think sharing is important? Sharing helps everyone feel included. It can make friendships stronger. What Do you like to share? What would happen if the sun never set? Days would feel very long. People and animals might get tired without night. Would you miss nighttime? Do you think learning can be fun? Learning can be fun when it feels playful. It helps people grow every day. What do you like learning? What should we do if we feel angry? We can take a deep breath and talk about it. Sharing feelings can help calm us down. What helps you calm down? What would happen if everyone told the truth all the time? People might trust each other more, but feelings could get hurt sometimes. How should we tell the truth kindly? What would happen if we could visit space easily? People could explore new planets, but space travel would still need to be safe. Where would you go first? What would happen if humans could breathe underwater? People could explore the ocean east, but they would still need to stay safe from deep-sea dangers. Would you like to explore the ocean? What would happen if animals could talk? Animals could share their feelings. People might learn how to treat them better. What would you ask an animal? What would happen if cars could fly? Traffic jams might disappear, but flying safely would be very important. Would flying cars be fun or scary? What would happen if everyone stopped using phones for one day? People might talk more face to face. They could enjoy time together without screens. Could you try this for one day? What would happen if food never went bad? There would be less food waste, but people would still need to eat healthy food. What food would you save forever? What would happen if people could read minds? People might understand each other better, but privacy would be very important. Would you want this power? What would happen if the sun disappeared? The world would become cold and dark. Plants and animals would struggle to survive. Why is the sun important? What would happen if kids never had homework? Kids would have more free time, but learning responsibility is still important. Do you like homework? What would happen if money did not exist? People might trade goods instead. Sharing and fairness would matter more. How would you get what you need? What would happen if people never needed sleep. People would have more time to do things, but rest is important for a healthy brain. Why do you think sleep matters? What would happen if plants could move? Plants could find better sunlight, but they might also bump into each other. Where would plants go first? What would happen if it rained candy? Kids would be very happy, but too much candy could be unhealthy. What candy would you hope for? What would happen if humans had wings? People could fly to places easily, but learning to fly safely would take practice. Where would you fly first? What would happen if schools were outdoors? Kids could learn from nature, but weather could be a challenge. Would you like outdoor school? What would happen if people could pause time? People could take breaks or fix mistakes, but time moving forward helps life grow. When would you pause time? What would happen if everyone had the same job? Some work would get done faster, but different skills make the world better. Why are differences important? What would happen if there were no rules? Things could feel chaotic. Rules help keep people safe and fair. Which rule helps you most? What would happen if everyone lived forever? People could learn many things, but change helps new ideas grow. Is growing older important? What would happen if kids ran the world? Ideas might be creative and fun, but responsibility would be very important. What rule would you make? What would happen if people could talk to plants? Plants could tell us what they need. People might care for nature better. What would plants say? What would happen if cities were underwater? People would need special homes. Sea, life, and humans would share space. Would you live underwater? What would happen if everyone could sing perfectly? Music would be everywhere, but practice would still matter. What song would you sing? What would happen if pets went to school? Pets could learn tricks, but animals learn differently than humans. Which pet would be best in class? What would happen if everyone shared everything? people might feel more connected. But personal space is also important. What is good to share? What would happen if books disappeared? Learning would be harder. Stories help ideas live on. Why are books special? What would happen if people could change colors? People could show their feelings, but understanding emotions still matters. What color are you today? What would happen if robots went to school? Robots could learn from humans. Humans could learn from robots too. What should robots learn first? What would happen if everyone could understand every language? People could communicate, friendships could grow worldwide. Who would you talk to? What would happen if humans lived on the moon? Life would be very different. People would need new ways to live safely. Would you visit the moon? What would happen if people could live inside video games? Life could feel exciting and adventurous, but real life would still be important. Would you like to live in a game